Francis, one of the things that Teddy mentioned earlier in the conversation was about your journey from Cameroon to eventually to France and then to the UFC. And I'd like to talk to you about that because I have an adopted daughter who I adopted as a newborn baby from Ethiopia. So I've been to Africa. My wife lived there for 2 months, and I know from firsthand experience how distant that can seem when you're there to versus being in the US. Can you talk about your motivation to come to go to Europe and then eventually to the US and what that journey was like and how your experience in Spain and your, I believe, temporary incarceration in Spain for entering illegally, how that affected you, and maybe just talk quickly through the whole journey to get to the point where you're at now, because it's an unbelievable story, especially like I said when you've seen this little village you're in Cameroon to get to where you're at now, an international superstar.
Yes, I was like 26 years old. Like when I understood that there is no chance for me out here in Cameroon, then I decided to find my opportunity somewhere. Um, so I left and I went country after country, from Morocco, from Cameroon to Nigeria, Nigeria to Morocco, to Niger, from Niger to Algeria, uh, by through the Sahara Desert. So then from Algeria now to Morocco, that I spent 1 year in Morocco trying to cross the trying to cross the continent to go to Europe, and that was a hell of 1 year because I made a lot of attempts who didn't work, and you know, it was just like being in hell. We've been in some situation that at some point you didn't care as much even about your life. Even today, I think about something that we did out there, some how we expose ourselves, our lives, and I still don't believe it because even though I was the one doing it, it was just so difficult as a moment, to live in the forest, been tracking and chasing um, as a rat, as an animal. We have to go eat in the trash, rotten food. We eat those, like, man. And I was even surprised that we get out there healthy because it was just an abomination. And then after that, luckily, after 1 year, I made it in Europe, but we get castrated by the friend by the Spain Homeland Security for about 2 months. Then after, when they free us, because they didn't know where we came from, we didn't have no ID. We make it purposely not to have a something on you who can identify you, because if they identify you where you came from, truly you will get deported. So we make sure not to get anything on us, and that's how um, we finally make it in Spain. And after 2 months they free us, and I went in Paris, which I didn't know nobody there, and didn't have no money. But by the time I was just so excited and happy, because I was just free. I just get free in Europe, to be like in Europe that I wanted for so long, and that I can have the opportunity that I always needed. So yes, in Paris, I found a parking lot, who was my new home, my first home in Europe, for a few months before having friends who helped me. But um, the controversial thing is like, when I was sleeping in the parking lot, sometimes thinking about it, it seems like very tough, very difficult as a situation. But at that moment, I didn't feel it as a tough situation because I was so happy. I was so excited for the new opportunity that I had. I was like, okay, here we are. This is the land of opportunity. This is what I always wanted, just an opportunity. I was so excited and happy the way that people that I met would tell me that, hey man, calm down, don't over expect because you might get disappointed. You know, Paris is not. I mean, Europe in general is not just like a paradise that everything you just get everything for free. And I always tell them, I never expect that I will find somewhere and on earth and it will just be like a heaven on earth. I mean, but I believe that with opportunity, I can create my own little paradise, and and that was always like, well, whatever, we just warn you, so just be aware. But I was just so excited from that moment. And the next day, I found a gym, and I went straight up. I told them the truth. I said, "Listen, I just came here. I don't have no money. I can't afford the membership. I can't pay for nothing. I don't have no money, not even a place to sleep. But I'm not asking for that. I just want a place that I can keep training because I want to be a world champion." And, it was kind of like, for some people, it seems like that was kind of like cocky. They have been there for 10 years trying to be a world champion and never made it. And you just came from nowhere and you want to be a world champion. They are not worth it. Like they are not working enough to become a world champion. But I was just explaining my excitement, my yes, my excitement. But however, uh, I still go. They still gave me credit because okay, they say yes, 6 foot guy about 250 or 60 pound by then, 250 pound. I mean, let's see what he gets, and that's how they allowed me to train there for free and things. I didn't know MMA by the time, and yes, after 2 weeks, they started talking to me about MMA, and I wasn't even interested about MMA. But somehow things keep going on, and I even changed the gym, and I went to some gym who was like specialized in MMA, and 2 years after after that, I found myself with a UFC contract, and that was the beginning of everything.
Hey, Francis,
Yes, Teddy.
can can we clone you and make about 1 million of you and bring you over to this country? Because what you just said, and I'm being so sincere about this, what you just said, so many people should hear that. So many people that complain about what they don't have instead of seeing what they do have could learn and be helped and prosper from you. I would like to clone you, make 1 million of you, and bring you over here. The world would become better in one day. In one day.